Winter had settled in. Snow blanketed the slopes of Lasma, and the once lush fields of Alberobello had turned into a thin, fragile layer of snow, hiding the traces of the wild beasts. In the harsh winter, wild boars, hungry and desperate, not only attacked grain stores, but also posed a threat to livestock, filling the villagers with constant fear. According to the locals, these weren't just starving boars. They were a vicious pack, led by a particularly dangerous boar. Determined to protect the village, our hunting team set out, ready to face the greatest challenge of this winter. Join us on this intense hunt. We moved up the Lasma slopes, where the wild boar pack had just vanished after the early morning wind. The leader appeared first, large and fierce, but little did it know, we were already waiting for it. I raised my rifle, aimed carefully, and squeezed the trigger. One shot was enough. The beast fell with a heavy thud on the snow, creating chaos. The rest of the boars scattered in panic. My rifle fired again, sparks flying. In mere seconds, we had the situation under control, with several targets down. It was a clean start, filled with hope for this challenging hunt ahead. The snow had thickened on Lasma's slopes, and every step sank deep. The biting, cold wind stung our faces. But we pressed on, steady, not too fast, just enough to avoid alerting the wild boar pack. Ahead, faint tracks led to some brush. John signaled, and I stopped. The leader emerged, huge, jet black. In an instant, I acted fired. The shot rang out sharply in the frozen air. The boar dropped lifeless. The others, scared and frantic, vanished into the forest. Another pack pushed back. At least the farmland below was safe for the rest of this cold snap. We had barely rested when we spotted a lone wild boar charging down the familiar path the villagers used. Even though the snow had covered every trace, I quickly readied my rifle, unwilling to let it get too close to the settlement. But John was quicker. A single shot rang out. Perfectly placing the bullet into the boar before it could take another step. No need for signals, we moved as one. In hunting, quick reactions and absolute trust in your team are the sharpest weapons. The peace didn't last long before the hound's barking cut through the soft snowfall, sending tension through the air. From the hilltop, the panicked boar charged down, hounded relentlessly by the dogs. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle, took aim, and fired. The shot echoed in the icy stillness, and the beast dropped right on the spot. Moments later, my teammates controlled additional targets at close range. Though danger loomed, we stood firm, because every inch of this land is home, and protecting it from savage threats is a vow we'll never break. The snowstorm grew heavier, the wind picking up and reducing visibility. We took our position to ambush, silently observing every movement in the white blur. Soon enough, another wild boar appeared on the slope, stepping quietly through the thick snow. John and I exchanged a look, no words needed. A single shot rang out. Precise, clean. The boar collapsed instantly, a testament to our flawless coordination in the freezing weather. By late afternoon, as the blizzard intensified, we packed up to head back, only to spot a solitary wild boar hiding in the valley, its fresh tracks still visible in the untouched snow. The boar was searching for shelter. One shot, the chase was over. Today's victory wasn't just about bringing down the beast, but ensuring the safety of the entire area. The Range Rover quietly rolled down the snow-covered trail, taking us back to the village. In each of our hearts, a quiet joy mixed with the heavy responsibility we carried. We were ready to sacrifice everything to protect this land and its people. If you found our journey worth watching, don't forget to like and follow to stay with us on the next hunts. For us, the war against wild boars never truly ends. They appear all year round, at any time of day or season. In autumn, when dry leaves crunch under our feet, every hunt brings a different kind of challenge. But when winter arrives, snow blanketing the mountains, cold cutting to the bone, the battle turns into something entirely different. Each season is a new battlefield, yet our mission never changes: to stop the advance of these destructive beasts. Today, come with us and see how we face them. Hunting is never simple. Behind every shot are hours of watching, calculating, and waiting in absolute silence. It is a duel between human patience and nature's wariness. And then, the moment finally comes. Our first target of the day appears. The forest is swallowed in thick snow, trees stripped bare like silent sentinels. From afar comes the crunching of snow under heavy steps, a herd of wild boars marching forward, unaware that death lurks close. Bang! The gunfire slices through the frozen air like blades. Two boars collapse into the snow, while the rest scatter in panic, vanishing into the depths of the forest. hidden behind bare branches. Suddenly, a massive boar bursts out from the cold gray trunks, charging straight at me with brute force. No time to think. Boom! The bullet rips through the air, striking the beast square in the head. It crashes onto the snow. On the other side, our golden-furred companion leads the target into the open with a furious bark, supporting David. As if on cue, boom, the shot shatters the silence. The beast staggers, collapses, and sinks into the white expanse as though blown out of existence by an invisible winter gale. On another ridge, our teammate Thomas has taken position as planned. The hillside is a harsh place, cliffs and steep slopes, where wild boars often hide deep in the brush or crawl into dark crevices, making them almost impossible to spot. As Thomas moves along the slope, a wild boar suddenly bursts out like an arrow through the silence. With 10 years of hunting experience, Thomas reacts instantly, rifle raised, aim fired. Bang!
Come on.
Further down the slope, a boar is casually enjoying its midday meal, unaware that it's already in our sights. But it's too late. Rifle loaded, Thomas locks his eyes on the target. The shot is clean, direct, lethal. The boar drops instantly. What do you think? Was that a perfect 10? Let my teammate know in the comments. Halfway down the hillside, cautious boars emerge from the dense brush. Holding my breath, I raise my rifle. Eyes sharp, fixed on their every move. The click of the bolt echoes in the stillness. 2 shots ring out across the slope, both striking true, both fatal. Today, we've claimed plenty of trophies. Our legs ache, our bodies are exhausted after the long hunt, yet our hearts are full. It's not only the thrill of the kill, it's the relief of knowing we've helped protect the land from destruction. And perhaps, tomorrow, the journey begins again, hardships and surprises waiting ahead. For us, the war against wild boars never truly ends. They wreak havoc all year round, no matter the terrain or the weather. When they hide in the icy snow-capped mountains and slip into the shadowy snowy forests, the pursuit becomes tougher than ever. Treacherous slopes force us to tread with extreme caution, while the blinding white forest erases almost every trace. But no matter where they hide, no matter how harsh the conditions, our mission remains the same. Stop these beasts before they destroy the crops and the livelihood of the locals. Today, join us on 2 thrilling hunts to see how we dealt with them. First, let's head into the majestic snow-covered mountains of the United States. Armed with rifles, winter gear, binoculars, and every piece of essential equipment, we were ready to take on the icy challenge. The wild boar hunt in the frozen mountains officially begins. After nearly an hour tracking deep prints in the thick snow, the entire team froze in place. A faint rustle came from up ahead. So quiet, the whole forest seemed to hold its breath. I moved closer, raised my binoculars, and scanned for movement. Then I saw them, a herd of wild boars, moving silently in single file across a snowy hillside. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle locked onto my target, a boar in the middle of the group, wading slowly through the snow in search of food. Then, boom, the gunshot ripped through the frozen silence. The boar collapsed into the white snow. Nearby, my teammate David took down another, adding to today's haul. The rest of the herd scattered in panic, charging toward a snowy ridge, right where David was lying in wait. One lone boar broke away from the group, stranded in the blinding snow, and walked straight into my sights. Perfect distance, perfect timing. Then, boom, its massive body crumpled into the deep snow without a chance to fight back. Hours of patience ended in a single second. We pushed deeper into the dense forest, where the snow was churned up, clear signs the herd had just been feeding. Ahead, 2 boars were buried in their feast, heads down and completely unaware. I squeezed the trigger. The shot cracked like thunder. The beast dropped. Instantly, the challenger had fallen. What do you think? Was that a perfect shot? Let us know in the comments. Now, let's head into an entirely different hunt, deep winter in the frozen forests of North America. A perfect hideout for wild boars, and a sign that things were about to get intense. Unbelievable. My hunting dog was pushing a boar at least 5 times its size straight toward me. No hesitation, I pulled the trigger. The bullet was so fast, it was almost invisible, striking the beast dead on. A clean fall. The snowy backdrop made for the perfect final scene. Do you think this shot deserves golden moment status? Como below. That afternoon, we ventured deeper into the snow-covered woods. Suddenly, a wild boar burst into a sprint across the frozen forest. I tracked it quickly. The open clearing ahead was the perfect place to end it. The first shot rang out, boom, breaking the stillness of the forest. The boar slid and collapsed in the icy snow. Not far away, David took down 2 more. As the daylight faded, the last light filtered through the old trees, carrying a chill and a rush of adrenaline. I lined up for the final shot of the day. The first bullet missed, my heart skipped a beat. The boar spun and ran. I quickly followed with a second shot. It crashed into the brush and fell. Brutal, yet spectacular. On the other side, a single shot from my teammate claimed another life just as cleanly. And the most important thing, every moment happened within the bounds of the law, respecting nature and ethical hunting. This wasn't just the end of a forest hunt, it was the pinnacle of skill, patience, and honor that only a responsible hunter truly deserves. And just like that, today's hunt came to a close. The team returned with plenty of game, wide smiles, and relief knowing we had eliminated threats to this land. There are places on this earth where people rarely tread, not because they're remote, but because they're dangerous. Take the deep, southern forests of the United States, for example. Here, wild boars don't just trample crops and destroy gardens. They attack livestock. They cause hundreds of road accidents every year. They put lives at risk. And we came here not for adventure, but to confront these beasts head-on. Deep in the wilderness, where even a tiny mistake might mean no second chance. Curious yet? It's time to follow us into the storm and find out who the real hunters are in this brutal encounter. We began our journey along a snowy mountainside, each step sinking deep into the frozen earth. The air was razor sharp. Every few minutes we stopped, checking weapons, wiping down scopes, making sure our radios didn't freeze. Everyone was on high alert. Out here, even one moment of distraction could flip the situation in an instant. While moving uphill, we suddenly spotted a group of wild boars slowly trudging through the blizzard. I locked onto the massive alpha leading the herd. My breath rose in a cloud as I steadied my aim. The gunshot cracked through the white silence. Direct hit. The beast tumbled down the slope and lay still in the snow. The rest of the herd scattered in panic, crashing through the trees and breaking the deathly calm of the mountain. We couldn't let them escape. We pressed on. Their hoof prints in the snow led straight up the mountain ridge. 10 minutes into the chase, we spotted them again, moving single file through the fog. I dropped low, raised my rifle, and focused through the fogged-up glass. The shot thundered through the air. One more beast dropped instantly. The rest, gone in a flash, vanishing into the wilderness. At the same time, on the other side of the ridge, one of my teammates was waiting in ambush. A massive boar charged straight at him, snow exploding beneath its hooves. He didn't flinch, raised his rifle, took aim. Boom. Clean shot. The beast slid across the icy ground and collapsed, lifeless. After clearing the ridge, we found a fresh trail leading down into the forest below. Without hesitation, we regrouped, checked ammo, and made our way down the frozen slope. The forest was dead silent, blanketed in white. Then movement. A shadow darted between the trees. A wild boar running fast through the snow. I lifted my rifle in silence, aimed, fired. The echo rang sharp through the woods. The boar dropped on the spot, its heavy body sinking into the snow. Meanwhile, at Ben's position, one of our team's veteran marksmen, the forest exploded with barking. His dogs had cornered another boar, one trying to scramble up a rock wall and across a frozen creek. Ben didn't wait. He dashed forward, leveled his rifle, and squeezed the trigger. The bullet slammed into its side. The beast collapsed, slid down the icy rocks, and came to a stop in the freezing creek bed. Dusk began to fall. We decided it was time to head back before darkness consumed the forest. But just as we turned, a blur of motion. A boar sprinted past, cutting through the brittle brush in a desperate escape attempt. I spun on instinct, raised my weapon, and fired. Direct hit. The bullet struck its back. The beast jerked once, then collapsed into the snow. Silence returned.
Attention là-haut à gauche, deux bons à tirer à gauche.
A flawless end to an unforgiving hunt in a frozen wilderness. Every single shot was taken legally within the permitted boundaries of this region's hunting laws.